How often have you gazed across Lake Ontario and wished you could go straight across rather than driving the long way around?
A lot of times.
Absolutely.
That could soon be a possibility. Hoverlink Ontario has been working on a plan to offer year-round hovercraft ferry service across the lake, and thanks to a 30-year deal with Toronto's Port Authority to have a docking station near Billy Bishop Airport, it's one step closer to achieving an idea floated for years.
The previous attempts were really attempts with ferries and other marine craft that are not competent to cross Lake Ontario 365 days a year. When you're launching a transit service, it has to be reliable and it has to function in all seasons, all weather. Hovercrafts do that.
Hoverlink Ontario says the proposed route would start at the Port Weller terminal on the edge of St. Catharines and cross over Lake Ontario for a 30-minute voyage, ending up in downtown Toronto by Billy Bishop Airport. The question many people are likely wondering is how much a ticket would cost.
I imagine something like this would probably be pretty expensive.
Hovercrafts are expensive items. You know, if they're going to amortize it over 50 years, maybe they make it work. I'm still a bit skeptical.
Hoverlink hasn't said how much a trip across the lake would cost yet, but the company says the goal is to make it a frequent option for both tourists and commuters. Which means the price to take a round trip on a hovercraft could be somewhere between the $42 round trip on GO Transit between Toronto and St. Catharines and the price of a private tour bus operator along that same route. The company also points out another draw would be avoiding the cost of driving and parking over the QEW and avoiding all its aggravating congestion. But the service is still a few years off, and Hoverlink Ontario still needs to find a viable company to build the vessels. Matthew Bingley, Global News.